forced into speech because men of science have refused to follow my advice without knowing why. It is altogether against my will that I tell my reasons for opposing this contemplated invasion of the Antarctic, and I am the more reluctant because my warning may be in vain. In the end, I must rely on the judgment and standing of the few scientific leaders who have, on the one hand, sufficient independence of thought to weigh my data on its own hideously convincing merits, and on the other hand, sufficient influence to deter the exploring world in general from any rash and overambitious program in the region of those mountains of madness. Our team arrived at Ross Island on the 9th of November, 1930. Professor Lake and his advance party arrived about 1 week earlier and evidently did not hesitate to begin their excavation. Attempts to communicate with Lake via radio proved unsuccessful, as the severe weather was interfering with our signals. After a day or so of no formal contact with Lake or any of his party, the decision was made to investigate. Danforth and myself took our plane to their camp on the plateau, high on the slopes of Mount Erebus. Seems like you haven't put that book down since we've left Arkham.
Ah, yes. I'm a great reader of strange material. It doesn't get much stranger than the Necronomicon.
But this is a scientific expedition. You're a bright young man, Danforth. You do much better to focus more on your studies than on the ramblings of 3rd century madmen.
Well, it's purely just a fascination. Besides, there's much to learn from the history of human thought. Perhaps even from the minds of mad men.
Careful how you use your gifts, Danforth.
Yeah, whatever you say.
We should be arriving shortly. Do you see anything?
Yes, over there.
What happened? Where is everyone?
Storm must have been worse than we anticipated. The plane is gone. Lake! Lake! Anybody here? Anybody here? Anybody here? Anybody here? Maybe they were forced to take shelter elsewhere. Come on, let's take a closer look.
Mr. Dyer! Mr. Dyer, come here, quick! That's Gedney. He was just in lecture hall with him not 3 weeks ago. He was sitting 5 seats from me.
What did this?
There aren't any predators on this continent that I'm aware of.
This was no predator. Look how all the organs are intact. This was the work of an intelligent mind. He looks like he was vivisected.
Merciful Lord.
Looks like they were butchered.
By what? Or who?
One.
What do you think, Mr. Dyer?
There's 7 men. One's missing.
The one who took the plane?
Might be the one who's behind all this. We need to identify the bodies. Come on.
Okay. There's Professor Atwood. see Carol. Lake?
I don't see Lake.
He was a good man. I refuse to believe he's done something like this. How can someone so brilliant stoop down to commit such a massacre?
In harsh conditions, even the best of men can be driven to do unspeakable things.
Let's investigate further before we go jumping to conclusions. Look below. Remnants of some lost civilization.
Out here in the Antarctic, it must have been ancient. Perhaps even one of the first civilizations on Earth.
Seems impossible.
This must have been their grave. What are these things?
The Elder Things.
What's that?
From the Necronomicon.
Danforth, this is
No! Listen to how this book describes them. It says right here, they were beings with 3 eyes, 2 wings, and many, many tendrils. I could not be certain if I was looking at plant or animal, but I knew that they were at least of human intelligence, if not more so.
I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
That's not all it's...
Danforth, we need to focus on what is pertinent.
This seems like it's very pertinent.
What's pertinent is figuring out what happened to Professor Lake. Where could he have gone, and what can he tell us about what happened here?
I think I might have an idea. You saw that excavation site back there, right? And Lake's party obviously dug up 3 of those mounds, right?
Right.
How many of these things do you see in here?
You're suggesting the excavation site wasn't a grave?
They might have just been dormant. Lake might have woken them up when he dug them out of the ground.
Those tracks.
Up the mountain.
The missing plane.
Do you really think he's gotten up there?
I don't know, Danforth. And I'm not pretending to know, but we have to get to the bottom of this. And if he's really up there, we might be the only ones who can save him. We were now, after a slow ascent, at the height of 23,570 feet, according to the aneroid. The pass loomed directly before us, smooth and windswept between its jagged and malignly frowning pylons. Beyond it was a sky fretted with swirling vapors and lighted by the low polar sun. The sky of that mysterious farther realm, upon which we felt no human eye had ever gazed. Danforth and I, unable to speak, exchanged eloquent glances. And then, having gained those last few feet, we did indeed stare across the momentous divide and over the unsampled secrets of an elder and utterly alien Earth.
How old do you suspect this place is?
I'd say thousands, if not millions of years older than mankind. Necronomicon talk at all about this?
Oh, yes. This is a war memorial. A great battle took place here. They say cosmological forces beyond our understanding tried to destroy this place.
If this didn't destroy them, what did?
Penguins. But they're enormous. Certainly larger than any of the Emperor family.
And blind.
Blind?
Look, no eyes.
Some kind of undiscovered species?
Unlikely to be artificially selected.
Incredible. They were using Earth life as livestock.
That didn't sound good.
But we're gonna go investigate it anyway, right?
Yep. Professor Lake?
Dyer? Young Danforth? You found me! You found me! Marvelous! Oh, my apologies. I haven't eaten in several days. I've just been so immersed in this incredible place!
Lake, what happened down at the camp?
Oh, the camp, yes. It was horrible. We were proceeding with the excavation of the site as we planned. We uncovered the perfectly preserved specimens of some sort of unknown prehistoric life forms. Karen, Atwood, and the others were too spooked by them for reasons they couldn't explain and kept away when they could. As for me, I stayed up for 3 days working with them. I didn't even notice when the massacre started, when I did. They were all dead. I got away as fast as I could.
Lake, we have a plane. We're going to take you out of here.
Take me out of here? But why? This is only the discovery of the century! Everything we know about history, biology, astronomy, abiogenesis, it all changes here. They made us. Not directly, of course, but they started the process of evolution on Earth. They brought the first seeds of life here. As a race, aside from their technological advances and obvious physiological differences, they were like us. Very much like us. They were explorers, scientists, artists, and politicians. They had government, social structure, religion, morals, ethics, bigots and egalitarians alike. My God, they were men! Men like us, but like us. intelligence comes cruelty. These beings also had a slave race.
The show goes.
Quite correct, Danforth.
How could you possibly know all this?
Because it's in the Necronomicon.
Yes, Danforth. You, young man, were right. You would keep your nose buried in that Necronomicon even on the eve of an exam. And to think we would all scoff at you for it. You might be the one human being on this planet to know more about this place since the mad Arab himself wrote that blasted book way back when. Can you tell us what happened to this place? Enlighten Mr. Dye with what you know.
The Elder Things created a race of slave beings called the Shoggoths, who could form into any shape and perform any task. They used the Shoggoths to create this city.
But one day, the Shoggoths rebelled against their masters. They slaughtered them. The Shoggoths were free, but a Shoggoth without a master is without purpose. And without purpose, the Shoggoths were driven mad, and they eventually slaughtered each other. Just like the Elder Things, the Shoggoths were wiped from the face of the earth.
All but one. You see, after all this race had been through the wars with the Migo, the star spawn of Cthulhu, it was their own creations that overwhelmed them. And the last one resides right behind this door. Come, take a listen. There is a way to open this door.
Why would you want to open the door?
A Shoggoth without a master is without purpose. He was trapped behind this door for eons. And I'm going to let him out. Then I will become his master. Danforth, do you know the key to open this door?
I believe I do. I recognize the symbols.
Perfect!
Wait, this is insane.
Is it? Is it insane when we stand on the threshold of greatness to be as the gods themselves? That we should simply toss the offering aside? Danforth, administer the code, please.
Danforth, we're leaving here now.
About what happened to your comrades. I'm sure you understand. We are, after all, both men!
Danforth, I need your help opening the door.
Danforth!
Get away from him! Certain things we had agreed were not for people to know and discuss lightly, and I would not speak of them now, but for the need of heading off that stark weather moor expedition and others at any cost. It is absolutely necessary for the peace and safety of mankind that some of Earth's dark, dead corners and unplumbed depths be let alone, lest sleeping abnormalities wake to resurgent life, and blasphemously surviving nightmares squirm and splash out of their black layers to newer and wider conquests.